Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Akarkadash. Shalom to the elders, Ba'akim, Wa'akwath, and I say Shalom. In the Heavenly Father's true name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Ba'ashem, in the name of Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. Those are their true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Lashwan Kadash, the Holy Tongue, and I say Shalom. And this is a sit-down lesson that I want to bring out from the LosAngelesTimes.com as of December 1st, 2023, and it reads, Putin orders Russian military to add 170,000 troops as Ukraine war drags on. It says from the Associated Press, December 1st, 2023 at 2:56 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It says Russian President Vladimir Putin on Friday ordered the country's military to increase the number of troops by nearly 170,000 to a total of 1.32 million as Moscow military action in Ukraine continues in its 22nd month. It says a Putin decree was released by the Kremlin on Friday and took force immediately. It brings the overall number of Russian military personnel to about 2.2 million, and including 1.32 million troops. It says in the second such expansion of the army since 2018, the previous boost by 137,000 troops were ordered by Putin in August of 2022. That was last year. It put the military numbers about 2 million personnel, about 1.5 million troops. The Defense Ministry says the order doesn't imply any significant expansion of conscription, saying in a statement that the increase will happen gradually by recruiting more volunteers. The military cited what it calls the special military operation in Ukraine and expansion of NATO as the reasons for beefing up the army. I believe there was one article that came out about the potential increasing of NATO versus Russia, even though that had been going on previously, but as of recently as well too. There have been more increasing indicators of that. More recent news articles been coming out that as well too. It says NATO joint armed forces are being built up near Russia's border, and additional air defense systems and strike weapons are being deployed. The potential of NATO tactical nuclear forces is being increased, the statement read. Boosting Russian troops is appropriate response to the aggressive activities in NATO bloc. And I believe, I would say about two and a half months ago, you had the president of Belarus, because you got Belarus and Russia, which is allies with one another. While you had over there, near the borders of Russia, from NATO, of his military presence been increasing over there. And then the president of Belarus just made that statement saying Russia is not going to be on standby. They're going to respond back of deploying their troops near the borders of NATO, where they got their troops and NATO allies, because NATO is allies with Ukraine as well too. It says, as I want to add an additional note to that, it says boasting Russian troops is appropriate response to the aggressive activities of the NATO bloc, the ministry said. It says last December, the Russian Defense Ministry, Sergei Shoigu, declared that the country needed a force about 1.5 million to guarantee the fulfillment of tasks to ensure Russia's security. He didn't say when the military would reach that size. The Kremlin previously considered the size of its military as significant, but the calculus changed after hopes for a quick victory over its neighbor was shattered by fierce Ukrainian resistance. Amending the continued hostility, Russia and Ukraine both have kept a tight lid on secrecy, if I pronounced that right, on their military casualties. The Russian military has confirmed only just over 6,000 military casualties, but the West had much higher estimate. In October, the UK Defense Ministry tweeted in a regular updated that the Russian likely suffered 150,000 to 190,000 permanent casualties, a number including the troops that have been killed and permanently wounded. Russian authorities have undertaken various efforts to give a boost to the army. In 2022, Putin ordered an increase to the size of the Russian military into 1.15 million starting January 1st, 2023, which passed already. It says the following month he ordered mobilization of 300,000 reservists to beef up his forces in Ukraine. That number is countered as part of the military current strength. Although Putin said there was no need to round up more, his mobilization decree is open-ending, allowing the military to call any additional reserve when needed. That decree also banned volunteer soldiers from ending its contract. It says regional authorities have tried to help beef up the ranks of former volunteer batons for deployment to Ukraine, all across Russia's vast territory. A campaign to entice more men to enlist has been underway for months, with the advertisement prompting cash bonuses, recruit, make cold calls to eligible men or enlistment officials working with universities and social services agencies to entice students and unemployed. The deputy chair of Russian Security Council, Dmitry Medvedev, said Friday that more than 452,000 men have enlisted and the army has contacted soldiers this year. Social media reports rise groups said that Russian authorities also offer amnesty to prisoners in exchange for a tour of military duty. Gotta read all the rest of that. Get into the scriptures. This is the book of Joel, Salakia, chapter 3 and verse 9. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this amongst the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty man. Let all the men of war draw near and let them come up. Joel, chapter 3, verse 10. Beat your plowshares and the swords and the pointing hooks at the spears, and let the weak see I am strong. And this is the book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 9. And when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. So with that, hopefully this sit-down lesson was edifying. This recent news article from the LATimes.com as of December the 1st, 2023, and it reads, Putin orders Russian military to add 170,000 troops as Ukraine war drags on. So with that, hopefully this sit-down lesson was edifying of the reading of this news article as part of the sit-down lessons and the scriptures that I brought up as well too, and the additional comments and notes that I just made. So hopefully this lesson was edifying, as I mentioned again. And with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Akarkadash. Shalom to the elders, Wa'akim Wa'akwaf. Until next time, I will say Shalom.